We are live. And
Saturday.
people are already here. What is
Saturday
up?
night. What do they say?
They said, get your stuff together, Kara.
No, they say in live from
What?
New York. It's Saturday Night Live. Is that how it goes?
Something like that.
What do we say?
Hang on 1 second, guys.
Live from Neevesknives. It's Neevesknives Live tonight on Saturday.
What the heck? There we go. Alright. And there, I gotta turn this down.
I love how the only two things in our fridge
What's up, Russ?
is
What's up,
sriracha and
CK?
coffee.
Bad Monkey. I'm gonna try not to hold my head down the whole time and look. Got like right there. Hopefully we are good. Get my seat together. Get my act together. How are you guys doing tonight? Oh wow, we got a bunch of people. What's up, Chad? What's up, Seems Logical? What's up, Cam? This is my nephew. Blade Banter, Manny, Hilltop. I already said what's up to Alpha Boss, Deuce Greg.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me something. Damn, 22 people already. Holy cow.
I'm gonna hit you.
All right, what's up?
listening to
I'm
me.
listening.
I stirred that coffee with a spoon that had sriracha on it.
Ooh,
So if you get a little
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 sriracha.
kick.
Little sriracha.
Why are you putting all the junk on my half?
I'm not. Look at my half.
I don't want the junk
That's
half.
not junk. That's
Hello,
glory.
people.
So, we were going to do a theme tonight, and then we decided not to because we were supposed to do it a couple weeks ago, and
Check out the shirt.
we didn't wind up doing that live. So we're just nice and comfy tonight, and we figure we'll maybe do some Q&A, maybe tell some stories. We'll see how it goes. How are you guys doing tonight? What's up, Spirit? What's up, Ma?
Hollywood Tactical said, "Yeah, I made it. My girlfriend is jealous. I'm choosing your live show over her live video chat."
Oh no! Don't get beat up.
Oh.
That might not serve you well.
I promise
But we
we'll try to
appreciate-
make it worth it. Oh,
we
nice
appreciate
hair
that,
night.
though.
This is my post. I took a shower hair.
This is I put on a hat hair.
No one cares about
Somebody
your hair,
chose
okay?
the doghouse. Somebody did choose the doghouse on that one.
It's worth it.
Hopefully we make it worth it.
Someone
At the end of it, he's gonna be like, "Damn it, that wasn't even worth it."
Dark Gravity said, "Y'all are interrupting me watching y'all unboxing on the shaker delivery."
Oh my god,
We're
that's
interrupting ourselves.
such an epic unboxing. That unboxing is crazy.
Everyone wants to know about me in the circus. Well, if you watch that shaker unboxing, I do briefly mention it. I did tame some lions.
She's a lion tamer.
Yeah, I was trying to bring home a pet bear, but Jared would not allow it. So,
No, go figure.
you know, it is what it is. So it
Go
caused
figure.
a little rift in our relationship, but we're here, we're back,
Damn it.
and I'm back. I found y'all a
She's
Jason
back in the saddle
Clark
again.
razor.
Yeah, that's that.
Don't say that because I can't probably afford it, okay?
That is an awesome. That knife is so smooth. Afterwards, I gave it a little drip of oil, and because it had a little tiny squeak, it was just dry, normal
It went-
things. Especially coming through the mail, sometimes things happen because like depending on how far it's going and stuff like that. I'll sell you mine. You got one?
Yeah,
Have I
baby.
seen it?
Of course he got one. We have
Oh,
it
shaker,
in our household
shaker.
right now.
No, I read the wrong name when I seen that.
Good save, good save.
Yeah, I did though. I really did. Yeah, but yeah, it now, oh my god, that thing got there's no friction, no stopping it, no nothing. When you close it, it just drops like a guillotine. It just drops. Super smooth. And like the way the jimping is on the flipper tab, the flipper tab's not like a normal flipper tab where
What's up,
you
Studfishing?
flick it. It's straight in. I mean, I could show you, but it's straight in, so you can push button it or pull it down. But the way you pull it down is you actually put your finger on its face. It's right there. It's the
What's
other
up,
one.
Camden?
the
Love you
other-
too, buddy.
It's the other one, baby.
Tell your nephew.
I did. What's up, Camden?
Said
love you
you.
too. Hopefully, you can come by one of these weekends. I talked to your dad about it.
Okay. I'm
So-
trying to get it out. this one, right?
Yep, it's that one.
I keep getting the 2 leather pouches.
I do too.
confused.
I do too.
This is such a cool pouch. I want to check out some of this guy's other knives so that maybe one day when I could get a custom that I could look at some of these. We just had to finally file Jared's taxes, so we're not buying any knives for a little while. Oh, it's so smooth. And it reminds me of something, and I can't think of like what it is.
What does it remind you of?
Like something from a cartoon. Like is it like a barber
Like
razor?
the cleaver that in the cartoons where they chase each other and cut each other's heads off.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, I don't know, but I really just love the way it looks. Anyway, here, you could show them that flipper tab thing.
Oh yeah, here. So it's straight. So it's like you're not when you pull it down.
Yeah, the barbershop razor. I was thinking that too, but I didn't know if that was weird.
When you pull it down, you do it actually with your finger flat on the flipper tab, which is unique because normally you would pull it down like right on the edge, like how a normal flipper tab is like this. Normally you would put your finger on top and pull it down. It's not like that. Now you can push button it also where you just push it, but
it wants to be it basically it's all in the jimping.
Super duper smooth. Very, very smooth. Very cool. We gotta put this back. So, what are you guys up to over the weekend? You meant Kleba. I don't know. Cleaver folders just seem a little weird. See, I don't mind cleaver folders because I know this would be more of a sheep's foot, I guess. Cleaver folders though, but they are very useful because this edge is still useful. So you can use them kind of like just like a razor blade. And then think about it still has the flat right there for push cuts and stuff like that. But yeah, they're still incredibly useful.
I need to speak on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because cleaver knives are one of my favorite knives ever. That one is more on the exaggerated end of that spectrum. But the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog, for a long time, was one of my most used knives at work. And I know it sounds crazy because everyone thinks it's a novelty knife. It is not. It was so useful, that front edge, the way the tip came out. I'm telling you, if you're not someone who's had a lot of cleaver knives, or if you do have them but you don't use them because you don't see the use in it, just try it.
I thought it was a novelty knife till I used it at work and then realized how useful it was. Especially the size of the mini sheepdog, because you can cup your hand over it like
What's up,
like
Therapeutic
this,
Edge?
and use it like that. What's up, Therapeutic? ATE in the house. You got oh, Carl Andrews is gone. What's up, Spirit? Hey. So, like I was saying earlier, I know some of you guys weren't here. We were going to do a theme tonight, but we decided not to. We were going to do that scary story thing. And what we were going to do is we were just going to hang out for a while, and then like the last 30 minutes, we were going to play the video that we had set up. And you guys would just listen, and we would listen to, and then we were going to pause it every now and then and talk about what was going on. And it's just like it's like 3 scary stories, and you're listening to it. But they're actually really cool because it kind of puts you there when you're listening to it. But we decided not to do that tonight. Maybe do that next time. And I don't know. Maybe we'll just tell stories of our own tonight and just do like a Q&A, hang out, chit chat.
We're just chilling.
Check out some knives. Shoot the shit. When are we getting together to hang out and you can check out a bunch of... That's what I'm talking about. When are we doing that? Because I'm ready.
Definitely should do it during the summertime for sure.
Yeah, definitely during the summertime.
Yeah, because clock's ticking down on awful weather here.
I think all that stuff's going to end come November.
No horror story, so comedy story theme tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
any story theme tonight.
I mean, we thought about just telling our own scary stories, but...
Well, scary meaning hectic, I guess, not like...
Yeah, I got a couple actual... I don't know.
You.
I know you guys... It's not like you guys would be scared. I mean, I'm not talking about like that, but it was like it would be like a scary story at the time, I guess. I got a couple of those. You're here for the quiz time? I know we should. That's what I'm saying. We should have been like more ready, like with
Hold
some
on.
type of theme.
Camden said, "Who
we
left
weren't.
a dislike?"
Yeah, who left?
Did someone leave a dislike?
I don't see
Because if
it.
they did, just leave, okay? You don't need to be here if you don't like it.
He's psyching us out.
Boom! Got him! Got him! I'm here for quiz
Someone
time.
did? Oh my god, I bet you they did it because we don't have a theme. See, I told you we should have did a theme. Damn it!
I bet you they did it because I'm here and they want me to go back to the circus.
It's definitely got
Sucks for them.
2 dislikes. What? No
What?
way. I'm gonna turn this off and turn it back on. Let's see. We do have 2. People are hating us tonight. Now get the fuck out of here with your no theme having asses.
I like not having a theme sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's cool just having a Q&A and getting to chit chat with you guys. It would be a surprise for a couple benchmates I promised a while back. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of benchmates we actually haven't checked out. When we were at that, what was that place called? In Colorado?
The store?
Yeah. Anyways, when we were there,
Garden Schwartz.
When we were there, we checked out a bunch of benchmates that we had never tried before, but it was like momentarily, like it was like for like 2 minutes at a time. So, do you really check out a knife if you only get to check it out for like 30 seconds? I guess you do, but you get to see if you
Therapeutic
like
Edge said
it.
he never understood the thumbs down. I'll tell you guys something about the thumbs down. Although the people who do thumbs downs, I don't really want them to hear this, because thumbs up or thumbs down doesn't matter for a YouTube channel. If you engage with a channel, you help the channel, whether it's a negative engagement or a positive engagement. So when you thumbs down the video, if you actually don't like the people or actually don't like the video, just leave. That's worse off than doing the thumbs down.
Yep.
But most human beings with their little entitled brains
They wanna
cannot
tell the
help
person.
but to want to speak up and let someone know.
I didn't like this.
Yeah.
But and what they want to do, really, in all reality, what they're trying to do is they want to make the ratio of dislikes higher than the actual likes.
Someone took
Because
back
then-
their thumbs down, LOL.
Thank you. Somebody probably
Accidentally
Yeah.
did. I've done that before too.
And we could really get some way if we tell everybody that we can see them when they do that. Like we can check and see who it is.
Oh my
even though
God.
we can't do that
No,
though.
you know.
Can't tell who gave us a
course
like or a
not.
dislike. That's why in my videos, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but a lot of times at the end of my sentence, I leave a thumbs up. I'm not giving them like a thumbs up, like for real. I'm telling them that I gave their video a thumbs up. Every time, as soon as I start a video, if it's in the knife community, I don't care if I like them or not, if I agree with what they say or not, doesn't matter. I instantly give them a like before I ever start the video, and I do that because they make knife-related content, which I believe that more people need to see and more people need to get involved in, and the only way they're going to do that is if they get those likes, because that makes them get out there more. It makes YouTube suggest you more, and it helps get you in the suggestions.
There's a Tucson called a Tucson Grandpa. Am I reading that right?
I don't know.
The
Yeah.
Tucson
I know what you're talking about.
TS-170. Is it like an old school?
Yeah, it looks like a
Like a grandpa knife?
It looks like a grandpa knife. I thought you could see who gives ratings. No, we can't. So we can't see if you give us a thumbs down or a thumbs up. We can't see that, but we can look at our analytics and look at our ratio and stuff like that and see like how many, what our ratio is like for likes
John.
and dislikes. But even if we
John's
got.
here. Your whole family's
What's up,
here.
John? Even if we got 30 dislikes, it wouldn't matter. It would still help us just the same. Because YouTube still wants people to even watch things that people hate.
I'd rather get the negative comment than the thumbs
Blade
down.
Banter.
Just like Blade Banter just said, it helps to know why when it
Yeah.
happens. So thumbs down, they kind of just don't do anything.
Nah, they usually don't.
They just get ignored.
Every once in a while, I start wondering, like I'll get somebody, if somebody will leave a comment, and I'll wonder, like, was that the thumbs down? Like,
Well, and it doesn't matter because, like I was saying before with the engagement stuff, some of the most hated videos out there, the most thumbs down videos, are the most viewed because people want to see things they hate.
Yep.
They got to see how bad it is or how stupid it is or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like that stuff winds up getting viewed. It does not stop you from getting suggested or anything like that.
Nope.
It pushes you forward.
Yeah.
So
but I would rather somebody tell me. I don't care if they give me a thumbs down.
36 people on, 30
That
are
is-
Jared's family.
But yeah, I would way rather them tell us why, because then I can talk to them about it, or it's because I love constructive criticism, and I've taken every constructive criticism to heart and either changed it, did it, or attempted to do what I could about it. Because some people actually give me really good constructive criticism and they complain, and I enjoy it. I love those comments because it's real. They're not just telling me what I want to hear, which is very beneficial. Just like with the reviews we do. Sometimes we complain about something on a knife. It's not that we hate the knife or the reviewer or the maker or the designer or anything like that. We're giving actual constructive criticism.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, but you have to get involved with me here. All right? And
Yep.
it's for all you peeps out there. I like to relate things back to my video games, okay?
No.
Constantly. He hates it, but I do it all the time because if
Okay.
I'm into a game, that's what my head is doing. I'm still playing it here,
Yeah.
even though I'm not there. So I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which, if you don't know, is a very old Western style game set in like 1899. And my question is that if you, Jared, or you, live stream chat, could go back to that time period for like a year, would you do it? And before you answer, think about.
If I die, do I die in this life too?
No. It's almost like a vacation.
Well,
for a
you
year.
can die in vacation.
Yeah, I know, but don't think about death.
Don't think. Well, I gotta think about death because if I could die and then not come back here, then I guess no.
Everyone's saying hell yeah for a year. No death. Dang it.
Then yeah, of course I would love to.
You
I
would be
think
able to, and like
I would
you
go.
could live however you want to live, but you're not going to be like a rich like person like starting a plantation or something. You're going to be like in a cabin or like living off the land sort
You
of
go
deal.
jack somebody's gold and go bury it somewhere, and then 100 years later, when you're
Everyone
back,
is
you
saying
can
yes.
go dig that stuff
Except for,
back
like,
up.
1%. Hell no, there was the world before antibiotics and hygiene. People
That's
used
true.
to die by getting a
Oh,
blister, lol,
yeah.
literally. Okay, yeah, so if you do bring death into it,
That's
the
what I
chances
mean.
that are high. But if you assume that you're not going to get hurt in any type of way just to experience it.
Oh, so, you have your phone right here?
The
ZT0707. I gotta look at it.
I
Is that the Hinder design?
I would do it.
I can't think of the which one it looks like.
Although
their numbers, man,
I
they
think
need to
as
come
a
up with
female,
names.
I think it would be worse going back as a female than it would be.
Yeah,
as a
I
male.
would imagine.
So
It's
I would
definitely
do it
a
if
man's world.
If I could go back as a man, I might do
Then
it.
you'd want to.
This one. It looks a lot like the.
Oh,
the
that
guys
new
today.
one. Yeah, that new one. I think that looks very interesting and cool. I like that they did a thin blade because the one thing I was worried about with it was it being like the 0450 and being too thick behind the edge and just not enough blade geometry to actually do any good cutting. So I'm glad that they used a thinner blade stock. I think it does look cool. The double detent system seems pretty awesome because then it doesn't have desk lock. So I think it's very interesting.
Shaker wanted
You're
to
carrying
see
it
your
right
wood.
now? That's awesome, Blade Banter. Hell
Hey,
yeah.
someone wants
What?
to see your wood.
My wood. Oh, did they ask?
Yes.
Okay, so this is from Alaska. My brother-in-law, is that the one who asked? Was it John who asked?
No, it
Oh,
was
my-
Spirited, and John, who gave this to you, is in the chat right now.
Yeah, my brother-in-law brought this back from Alaska. His brother lives in Alaska, and he went on a trip there. It's very, very cool. I mean, it's just like a rock.
It is. It feels like a rock.
Yeah, but you can tell if you really look. Like it's hard to tell, but if you really look, you can see like the bark.
Not as cool as my moose tooth.
Very, very, very cool. No, very good.
You wanted to see my moose tooth too, so
I
I'm
like
showing
rocks
it.
and stuff.
Moose tooth.
I've always been interested in like stuff like that, just
Yeah,
natural nature
too.
stuff that like that just happens on Earth. You know, like when I was younger, I went caverning a bunch of times with rock
Oh,
climbing.
Shaker, you used to live in Alaska?
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's someplace I would love to go to for a year. Is Alaska, or even just a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know why I said a year.
Go
before.
hunting, fishing, live off the land. It'd be rough, but I'd love to do it. But yeah, I went caverning a lot and was like collecting rocks and stuff from like deep down in caverns, even though you're not supposed to. But you went to high school in Alaska. Wow. Was it like a populated area, or was it not really populated? But yeah, that would be beautiful.
You should have a knife made with that as the scale. I wonder
I
if you
thought
could
about
do
that, but I think I'm not positive because I have no idea what it would be like to cut or
Anchorage,
anything. That's popular. It's more popular. But I would
there.
think that the scale might be delicate. Like if I dropped it, it might just shatter. That's
See
the
you,
only problem I'm
therapeutic.
thinking is that it would shatter. You taking off therapeutic? Have a good night.
Did you hear Borrow Alaska change their name? To what?
To steal? You got jacked. Did I drop that damn thing?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yes.
But yeah, I would love to go somewhere more remote than we are now, because we're just kind of in the middle.
Colorado was fun.
Yeah, Colorado is good for that sort of setting. However, it's still, you feel more removed than you do somewhere like here.
It's definitely
But
too
you can get
populated
more
here.
removed.
Here you can't really get removed. It's too populated. You
Yeah.
can go up north like to Wisconsin.
Montana.
I got family in Wisconsin, so I can go up north there. But it's not, not like, because you've been there so much.
Some native name starts with a U. I can't
Montana
pronounce it.
would be a ton of fun. I would love to go hunting in Montana. Hunting or fishing. I think that'd be so awesome.
Yeah. My last game was set in Montana.
She's still in her game. I had to pick her up and carry her over here. What's up, Mick?
Move to Kansas with your Kansas, I have driven. Let me tell you something about Kansas.
Flat lands.
I drove through Kansas once after the person I was with made a wrong turn on the way to Colorado. Okay, so we drove through Kansas instead of through Nebraska. Now, when we did that, it actually was kind of cool. We wound up driving through all these little ghost towns, and they were legitimately ghost towns, or they were towns still populated with one gas pump, a church, and a general store, and like 4 families. Wow. And that was the whole town. They couldn't take credit cards, nothing like that. And you would be driving and see signs that said no services for 90 miles. Constantly. It's pretty, but it is flat, and it is barren. But... yeah.
Mack trucks were both started due to Alaska gold
Left-handers
rush.
rule? Where is that coming from? Because I'm left-handed.
California would be really cool to go check out. I've never been to California, so I would love to go to
Friend probably forgot to make a left at the cornfield.
Oh, you live in the desert, Russ? That would be awesome. I'd love to. Me and her, actually, wasn't I just talking about that like a month ago? I was saying, like, I think it would be so cool.
Someone said, I have no idea how I ended up here.
Bum, 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 bum. Thank you.
Someone said, I have no idea how I ended up here, but I'm glad to be here. Sep!
What's up?
It's like Metal Complex always says someone came from the dark corner of the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, Waptucci, make sure to practice up on being drunk if you're moving to Alaska if you want to fit in. Cheers. Yeah, I would imagine there's not much else to do. It's kind of like when you go to Oklahoma, it's like that.
I would love to just go because, like when you're around people constantly and you can't go nowhere without being around people, blah, blah, blah. I think it would just be cool to go to the desert and just, I don't know if you'd say live off the land, but just be secluded with nobody around and just hang out for a week. Sit on the porch, go outside, sit on the porch, and just chill.
More like live off the sand. Got him. All right, Shaker
Idaho.
Hold on, I keep missing up Spirited and Shaker. Spirited wants to see our most carried knife this week from each of us.
Ooh.
Okay. But I want to also turn that question back onto you guys as well.
Yeah.
I want to know your most carried knife this week. I'm gonna go get mine because it's not present. Ow!
Okay, I'll be honest. I carried because well, I guess it would be considered this week. I was carrying these two knives a lot because I just got them. But I carry, you know what I carry a lot? I love this damn thing. This Civivi Picaro. I love this thing. It's such a good user. This thing goes through material so easily. And this has got to be my favorite blade shape, or at least one of them, with how thin this hollow grind is. I carried a bunch of things, though, because even one day I did carry...
I was going to reach that way.
Go ahead. I carried the Shaman. Very, very cool. What else did I carry? But yeah, I think I carried the
most carried.
Yeah.
Not what did I carry?
I did carry the Picaro the most, though.
Okay, before I answer mine, I want to read some of these. Mine is a SOCOM Elite for a couple weeks. All my other knives feel small now. Yeah.
Spirited was balling in his pocket.
Blue Malibu. What the heck is the Blue Malibu?
I know what it is. It's the Protect. It's the button lock Protect.
Oh,
it's not an auto.
Yeah.
Very
okay,
cool.
That's cool. Civivi, but okay, Civivi. So I had an even split this week with two knives. One was this Civivi Elementum Jade G10 scales coated blade.
Keeper! Thank you!
Sabenza for the win. And then my other one was the Beztech Goblin. I just can't get over how great of a little
stuff on it. You also carried this because I just sharpened and cleaned it for you.
That was one day though. He said most carried.
I
Do not know what the word most means.
I don't. What does it mean? My Kershaw pub is always
the Goblin is the best.
Okay.
I'm telling you. If you like a Kershaw Pub Blade Manter, switch that out with, unless you use it as a keychain. But I'm telling you guys, these goblins are, it's literally like having a permanent razor blade.
You know what I really like about it is that you can easily middle finger flick it.
And even though it's small, it has the biggest finger choil. I don't care how fat your fingers are, they're going to fit in that choil.
It does. It's
you
very
got some fat little fingies,
you don't carry it like this, but like this, very nice. It is very, very nice. But I love that you can easily middle finger flick it. Yeah, it is a very, very cool knife. I just recently sharpened that one too. Ooh, the Pena. Let me see these lumberjack. I know. Is that the one? I don't know if you answered.
Is it like a plaid?
Yeah, is that the plaid one? Pena X Series landing clip, Kershaw bare knuckle M39. Okay.
What's up, Casey Tyler?
They got the S35 VM Para too. That's crazy. Camden, he's 9, so he doesn't carry a knife.
No, but he does have one.
He does.
We got Camden, who's Jared's and mine's nephew. We got him a one of the little Gerber paraframes, which is like most people's first knife ever. He was carving some sticks up, doing a great job. It's pretty awesome.
Shaker switched every day. Carrying large Spenza, the HBL07, the Mongoose. Oh no, that's Shaker now. How did I do? Okay, and the Riat New Torrance. That's a badass Riat. I keep seeing the pictures online. Civivi Naga from Mr. Blower. Man gonna steal the Mackenzie. Nebar.
The what?
Mr. Mackenzie Nebar. Ha 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 ha.
That's a reply to someone else, baby.
I'm sorry. I'm reading. I carry my
Camden is even
shard.
Younger than me. Yeah, stud fishing. You're not the youngest one here anymore.
No. But I am going to get him hopefully a knife that he can start carrying in his pocket as long as he's responsible. I don't mind. I don't care if he carries one. I just got to convince, mama. Anybody time Camden is my issue. I'll also have like 5.
Hey, Kara, at least he isn't scrolling.
Yeah.
I remind him of that every time because sometimes he'll go back to look at one comment and I'll just look at him like, don't go down that hole again.
Right. I'll start answering everybody again.
That was hilarious.
Blade Banter 8. Which action?
Blade Banter's only 8 years old? I didn't know that.
Okay, so mine would probably be the auto first.
Wait. What is the question? Which action do you all prefer most to least? Auto out the front, auto out
He's
the
saying
side.
his own, I think.
Thumb studs. No, he's asking us to rank those. Which action do you
Okay,
prefer most to least?
Okay, the most one I prefer is probably thumb stud or hole. I probably like them both equally. Then flipper, manual, then an auto out the side, and then out the front.
Yeah, I go hands down. I go thumb studs, Spidey hole, flipper, auto out the side, auto out the front. In that order. Kiefer!
What are you doing, Kiefer? Damn. You're thank you very much, man.
What say
you? Don't have to do that. We appreciate it though.
Have
Thank
a good
you very
night,
much.
Kiefer.
Have a blessed night.
Studs, hold, flipper. Oh, is that the front? Yeah, I am like Shaker. I can't let go of studs. You know
I know. You know what?
I like the holes and everything, but I'm just saying that a good thumb stud I will typically prefer.
When you get a good hole, same thing with the thumb stud, and then you get a good thumb stud, and I mean like where the position just right, your leverage is just right, and it's just nice and crisp detent. It's hard to beat. Like that satisfaction of the pop. You know, it's really hard to beat.
Say the name of this.
Say the name. Quest Custom Gent.
That's the knife we used to unbox today.
Yes. Very, very cool. Yeah, Shaker got us this, and this thing is absolutely awesome. Man, but yeah, we got a badass giveaway coming up for the Patreon. So if you guys want a chance to get in, become a Patreon. All you gotta do it is for like $3 a month, and you can have a chance to. I think we have 29 Patreons right now, give or take. Yeah, so you had a really good chance of winning something. Last month was somebody who just jumped in. I'm sure he just jumped in to win something. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he wanted to support us. Who's a Patreon? I am. There you go.
Represent.
Thank you. Wow, Tucci.
Wow, Tucci, that was the one we just held up.
Yeah, this one right here. The Quest Custom Gent. Very, very cool. Titanium S35V and super thin hollow grind. I mean, this thing gets very thin at the edge. And just the action, like the detent, it's a heavy detent. But it's so crisp when you open it, like, the jimping is just perfect. To where as soon as that detent breaks, it flies. Super Steel Steve, what's up, bud? He's the one leaving the thumbs down. Suck his balls.
Okay, I just got this email from work right now talking about icebreaker questions to ask new people.
Okay.
Like when I'm like interviewing them, they don't want me to ask all these questions, but it's something just my.
Okay, go ahead.
It's so funny.
Ask them.
These questions are weird. I would never feel comfortable asking these in an interview. I mean, I would. I'm just saying it'd be weird. One of them is, there's the zombie apocalypse. Who's 3 people you're going to take with you?
You have to ask this?
No, I don't have to. It was a suggestion. It's like, here's some fun things you can ask when you have a new team member joining.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's like, there's a zombie apocalypse. Who's 3 people you want on your team? What's the worst haircut you ever had?
Keep going.
Who's your childhood actor, actress crush?
I wouldn't even want to ask people these
are
questions.
weird.
Who'd you have a crush on? That's definitely like a girl's question.
Yeah. No, I mean, not really, but
what did you name guys would never say that. Guys would never say that.
What'd you name your first car?
What did I name my first car?
Half of the guy's first crush from like stuff is probably Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, El Papi, that's what it was called.
Your car's name was what?
El Papi.
And this is why this would be a weird thing to ask on the job.
It was because of my license plate, so it had nothing to do with me.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't name it that.
Hollywood, my first car was Pepe.
That's hilarious because mine was Poppy.
We get a look into your work life since you're never in videos thanks to your work life. Yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know, I just entirely took over the whole Starbucks, so now I'm there a lot more. So basically, that's where I always am, and I'm very tired when I get home.
That is a cool name for a car.
Bessie. I feel
Oh,
like that's like
Bessie?
a muscle car name.
I feel like it's an old work truck name. Bessie?
Yeah.
Pull old Bessie around the corner. I'll
Oh
load
my
her up
gosh.
with some shingles.
And you
Smells
smell
like
like
co-
coffee.
Me
Yum.
too.
Yeah, but the smell, it's not so bad since I'm inside of a Target. It's not as closed in. But when I worked for a Starbucks that was just on its own, the type of coffee you come home smelling like is stale, nasty coffee. I never thought coffee could smell bad until I smelled it on my pillowcase after the smell had been in my hair. It's not a good smell.
94 runner. My first car was a a 94 Dodge Intrepid. 95 Dodge Intrepid.
My
Green.
first car's name was Kimmy Granger. Wait, what's that from? That's someone's name in something,
Steak
isn't it?
Coffee.
Kimmy Granger. What is that from?
I don't know.
That's something.
Just ask them. Bean, juice, energy drink, building, and tire.
Yeah, caffeine
Yeah, that is
has
crazy,
0% effect on me. Like I'm drinking
Yeah, me
coffee
neither.
right now. I'll go to sleep immediately.
I can drink an
after.
energy drink and go to sleep. Probably says something about me. Damn, 75 Dodge Dart. That's pretty badass. I used to have a 69 El Camino. It was pretty badass. Had Krugers, had the 350 SS.
Listen to this one.
Yep.
If aliens landed on Earth tomorrow and offered to take you home with them, would you go? Like in a kind way. If they were like,
Probably not.
"Hey man, you want to come home?
I wouldn't
You want to
trust it.
check out Planet Xerox machine?"
Not unless if Blade Brigade was on the bus too. I don't think I could take that tour because I don't trust them, first of all, and then two, like, well, hold on, let me ask you this: are they human-like?
Oh,
That's
well,
the
the
biggest one.
icebreaker, but if we're just going off my brain,
I mean, if they fucking
yeah,
look like an
they have two
octopus, no,
legs.
I don't want to.
No, they don't look like two legs. You know, like your classic like little green
Cute.
man kind of guy.
Oh, those, yeah, no.
you
Not
wouldn't,
happening.
you wouldn't
No,
do it?
no, fuck no.
Oh my gosh, I would do it.
Exactly, I'd be a slave.
I'd want to go. Well, I'd make sure like I'd have precautions. Like if they were like, yeah, take
You
your
got
time,
no
take your
precaution.
time, bring whatever you need. I'd know they were good guys.
Yeah, that's just trying to bring more things. They would want more things for you to bring with. AMC Matador. That's cool. 1974. I had a what else have I? I've had a lot of cars.
My first car was a 5-speed manual Honda Civic.
I had a 5-speed manual Honda Civic. I also
Yeah.
had a Mazda MX-6. I had man, I've had a lot of cars. A lot.
I've been good, Camden. Thank you. Hopefully we can see you soon. Jared said he might have you come over.
57 Dodge van. That is cool. No windows in the back. That's badass. I drove around. Check this out. I drove around a small bus for like 2 years. You know, like the small city buses, the little ones. We bought it for because my dad was paralyzed and it had the ramp, the ramp to put in a wheelchair. And the back doors opened up so we could load materials in there for construction. And we could haul him around to the construction site. But I drove it around religiously. I mean, through town, doing all kinds of shit,
Bet
kicking
you
it.
looked so cool.
I did. I was cool. We ripped out all the seats. So, like, we made it a party bus, basically. We even went to some concerts in it and all kinds of shit. It was badass.
Hey, how long do we have for this live stream?
We have it till 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't remember.
What year, Kara? Your Civic?
2001.
Mine was a 90. I don't remember. It was a 90 something.
Yeah.
Mine was an older
Mine
one.
wasn't a coupe. It was a 4-door, but honestly, it was a good car, but I learned something about it, and that's that the clutch on Honda Civics are a lot more sensitive than some stick shift cars. Like when I would go to drive a different stick shift car, it was so easy to start without thinking. In that car,
Yeah, mine definitely had a lot of push to it. Like, because I remember I had 2 different stick shifts at the same time when I had my Honda Civic, and
Yeah.
my Civic had a lot more like I don't know the word for it. Like, it had a lot more distance from the clutch to the floor than my other car.
Yeah.
My other car was really shallow.
I don't know. It's weird.
Amy, you're leaving? Bye. Unless you're saying bye to somebody else that said bye, I might have listed. I don't know. Preference for each of you on blade length. Mine's 3.5.
I like
All day.
between 2.5 and 3.25. 2.5 is a little small, but I would say, but it depends on the knife. But yeah, no more than 3.5 for sure.
Mine's definitely 3.5 to 3.5 inches. I don't mind 3-inch knives, so between 3 and 4 inches is my sweet spot. Yeah, I agree, sir. You should design your perfect knife and suture.
Jared's been drawing
I
knife
did. I
designs.
actually did draw one. I drew one up, and I actually really, really like it. And I thought about doing something like that. I
See
know
you,
it would
bad
take
monkey.
a couple years. See you later, bud.
We don't have really a big
No.
restriction for blade length in our county that we're in.
If we go downtown to the city, then it's under 3 inches. 3 inches or under. But here where we're at, we're out of the city, so we don't have a blade length.
Yeah.
But no, I did draw a design up, and it's really cool. But I'd hate to show you guys, and then one of you guys steal my shit. So, but no, I thought about like I don't know, talking to somebody, maybe getting some type of design, because I'd have to really break it down on paper and make sure everything fits perfectly. Because if I just draw something and send it to somebody and then they figure out all the little fine details, then they technically design the knife. So you'd have to draft it all out and make sure everything works perfectly, make sure you have the right locking mechanisms, all that stuff.
I was doing that for a while with the Apple Pencil on the iPad.
I didn't know that, Spirited.
What?
That the new knife laws did away with the specific blade length. That is awesome if that is true.
I think before the one we had up here, it was so long that it wouldn't matter anyway. So they might as well do away with it.
I don't think we had one technically.
Oh.
Jared, make a knife, man. I know it definitely is my destiny, and I would absolutely love it. I would even love to make a fixed blade, but it'd have to be a folder.
I'm sorry, the way you just said that was so funny.
What?
You're like, I know, it definitely is my destiny. Anyway, yeah.
I didn't say destiny.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
It's on video.
I'll watch. I'll watch.
You're like, yeah, sure, it definitely is my destiny.
Did I say it like that?
Yes, you did.
Anyways, but no,
you said it with such conviction. That's why it was so funny.
It is.
You're like,
I
know,
would
guys,
love to do
we
that.
all know it's my destiny.
That is just something I would absolutely love to do. I think
your
that would be very
destiny.
cool. It is my destiny. Yeah, cops didn't want to carry tape measures. Makes sense. Yeah, I've never had any issues with cops. I've taken my knife away for as long as it took for me to get to be let go. And then if I was ever arrested, I wound up getting it on the way out.
Yeah, I've never had a knife encounter.
I've had them steal stuff from me, but never my knife. But I've had them steal money from me. I've had them steal gold from me. I've had them steal a ring from me. I've had them steal a chain.
He got me gold.
I've had
He
them
got
steal
me
a lot of
Lucky
shit from me. They're
Charms.
fucking thieves, man.
Whoa,
No
took that
joke.
to a dark place.
They can be.
It was like the video,
definitely
The
can be.
Legend of Jeff, that we watched today.
Oh yeah.
We watched a video interrogation of this guy, and he was sick, drug addict, and withdrawals, and
He knew his rights,
He
though.
knew his rights though, and he held it down the whole time. It's so funny. If you guys look it up, it's called The Legend of Jeff, and it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Why were you carrying gold?
I like a gold chain around my neck, and then I had gotten arrested, and you start filling your thing of what you have on
Lindy
you,
Lou!
and they
I did it
took
before
it.
you did it.
They took it,
I did the Lindy Lou thing.
and then in the
Stole
same
from
breath,
them.
I had a ring also, and they took that too.
Seems logical. I watched
The
that Jeff video
$100
last
bill.
week. He watched the Jeff video.
The $100 bill, they tried to claim to me that it was fake, which it was not. It was just a little bit older, and even though the marker worked on it and everything, and he just stole it from me. Cops, they can say whatever they want, so it's just, like when you're in a bad area, I think they know they can get away with stuff a lot more, and you tend to run into cops a lot more often. And even if it's petty or pathetic, they can use whatever they want and say whatever they want against you and use things against you. So
If you could have any knife for free, what would it be?
Oh, that's a hard question, man. That's a really tough one. Any knife for free. I mean, I guess I would pick the
Yeah.
most expensive knife in the world.
Why?
Auction-
Why?
I'm not done. Listen,
I hate what people always say that. Why?
I'm-
Are you gonna sell it?
I'm gonna
You gonna-
auction it
what are you
off.
gonna do?
I'm gonna auction
And
it
then
off,
what?
and then buy 20 other knives.
Okay, so you're not very gracious for your gift, then, are you? You're just using it as a way to.
Yeah, to get more
Okay,
knives.
I know, and now I know how you are. That's fine.
The least resistance
Is that
to
what
the
you do with
path
all the
of
gifts
more
I
knives.
give you? You
Yes.
sell them? You auction them off? Is there a website called My Wife's Gifts Auction
Keller said
page?
a Culture Tech. Culture Techs are very, very nice. I don't even know what those go for, but I can imagine they gotta be up in the few thousands.
Damn.
Some of them. A cop
Read
took
that,
$100.
No,
Jeez, yes.
read that. I got arrested once with a backpack, and when I went to jail and when I was in booking, I asked the cop, "Where's my backpack?" And he was like, "What backpack?" They did that to me.
That's what happened to my chain
They
and my
did
ring.
that to me once with my ID. And I know they did it just to inconvenience me because you know how annoying it is to have to go get a new ID, especially when that's your only form of identification that you have.
Yep.
Yeah. That
You want to
was
hear
real
another one?
annoying.
One time, we're just letting shit out let it off the bag.
He said he had a light bulb in his trunk and they called it drug paraphernalia.
I had them rob my house one time. My whole house. They fucking came in. They
Did they
arrested
have
me.
a warrant?
No, this is the thing. They did not have a warrant. They arrested me on some petty shit. But they didn't arrest me, okay? So they took me in for questioning, held me for like 4 hours while they fucking ransacked my house, took a whole box full of stuff, and then when I showed back up, like irate, like why are you even in my house? You're not allowed in my house. Like no warrant. They all ran. Fucking left out of there, squealing out of there, and I had fucking all kinds of shit gone. I mean, tons of stuff. They left with an entire box.
They probably do that all the
My
time.
neighbor even said they walked out with a box full of stuff, and I mean, what the fuck can you do,
Yeah.
Pathetic.
He said I did have a bong in the trunk though too.
They look for little reasons like that to get to you. With me though, they didn't have
Whoa!
anything. They
Whoa!
they use whoa
Whoa!
hey bam 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 bam.
Whoa!
Thanks, Kareem. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
And
man.
with
That's
the
awesome.
sticker, I think that's our first ever sticker, guys.
But
You
like
guys never give us stickers. I like the little guys. They're cute. Look at them. Hey, you.
but I have no reason to bullshit any of you guys about anything because everything's public record.
Cops. What are you guys into? I don't know. With a name like Alpha Boss, I kind of wonder the same thing
Yeah,
about
about you. Yeah.
So maybe you stay quiet, we stay quiet, okay?
No, we used to we cleaned
Bonnie
our
and
act
Clyde.
up. I haven't gotten in any trouble in 3 to 4 years. I completely turned my life around, but I used to get into
Why
a
are
lot
you
of
saying
trouble.
what? Am I over here still in the gutter?
Well, I can only speak for myself.
Okay.
But yeah, we completely turned our lives around and straightened up.
Where you live, you seem to get harassed a lot. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah,
Here's the
for
thing.
sure. I'll tell you about it.
Usually, not always, but usually, when you tend to be doing bad things in your life,
Bad
you
things
do
happen.
tend to
Bad
get
things happen.
harassed more.
That and also, but I also
And
I've been
sometimes it's legit harassment.
Yes,
It is.
yes.
But other
100%.
times when you come back and you look at it with a clear mind, you're like, yeah,
That was my
I
fault.
definitely
Yeah.
provoked it or I did something. You know
But
what
you
I
know,
mean?
but I've been in many scenarios where, and I'm talking about many scenarios where they were just looking for something, like trying to do something, like where it was completely provoked by them. When you're in a bad area, I was just saying before, when you're in a bad area, and lots of bad things happen, they tend to have more excuses to mess with people. So regardless of what the reason is, because there's a lot more of them, because they're around those areas a lot more. So you run into them a lot more, and in those areas, to them, everybody's a criminal. Everybody, regardless of what you're doing, you could be just walking down the street. Everybody's a criminal. So, and I understand that because they get shot at a lot. Everybody's lying to them. Everybody's running from them. I understand it through their perspective. I completely understand it. But when they start violating your rights, your constitutional rights, that's when I draw the line. Like, I don't care about anything else they do, but just don't violate people's rights. because that's what
Yeah.
that's what you
That's what they're
signed to
there
protect.
for.
You're supposed to protect my constitutional
He,
rights,
he
but they want to violate
He's
them. A lot
okay.
of them.
First of
Not
all,
ever, not all of
hold
them.
on. Before I read
There's good
Megan
ones out there.
Steele one, Justin EDC sounds like we may have lived a similar life. I guarantee we probably have. And then on this one, dude, I got searched because I fit the description of a drug dealer driving across the Michigan border with a girl in the passenger seat. The cops stole cash, fake ID, and patted us down.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. It happens to a lot of people, and that's why I hate all this shit that's going on right now. Making
Aren't
it
we
seem
supposed
like
to be
it's-
innocent until proven guilty? No.
No, you're guilty
That's
until
what
proven
they
innocent.
say, but
Yeah.
actions speak louder than words. And if you look at every single thing, think about the fact that you can sit in a jail in our country awaiting trial. Isn't
Yes.
that in
Yes.
itself guilty to why do I have to be locked up?
Right,
I
right.
haven't had my trial. You don't know if I even am guilty or not yet.
Which
so
has happened. So, and then they wind up holding you, and you might have a job, a family. They don't care. So now you're sitting there losing your job, losing who knows what's going to happen to your kids, whatever. They don't care about any of that. And now you're not going to get out until you go to court, and possibly the judge lets you out, or possibly you get bail if they allow you to get bond. I mean, it's a messed up, thing. But I understand, like, from a violent point of view, like, say if you got arrested for shooting at somebody or something, like killing somebody, something like that. But with petty stuff, they can hold you for like a week and ruin your life. They can make you a part of the system, which once you're a part of the system, it's very hard to get out. And
Yeah.
that's why now, like, it took me 2 years to get out of the system. 2 years to completely get away from the system. I had to do everything. There would be no possible way I could be here now unless if I did everything perfect. Because they made me jump through every hoop and loop and made it impossible for me to get out of the system. And when I say impossible, I mean almost nobody succeeds. Almost nobody. That's why a lot of people
I
say
mean, let's be
they
real
just
though.
take their
You
time.
did have ways you could have got around it.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying, like, they're hoops. There was
I
ways,
did, obviously, I did.
I
But
know.
I'm saying though, they
but
try
I mean,
to make
in a
it as
non-legit way.
yeah, you're right,
But you,
exactly.
at the end of the day, did it legit.
I did it legit, and that's why I'm here now, is because I did
'Cause,
everything
and
by the book, legit, cleaned my life
Those
up, and did
things
everything
are a
perfect.
setup for failure if
Yeah.
you're not going to do it legit.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people wind up doing things like I've did before and just taking jail time, because why would you want to put yourself in
Right.
that situation?
Well, that's why most
If
people
you're
do.
not going to do it right.
Right.
If you're not going to do it right, it's a setup and you don't want to do it.
Right. Because they make you, like, say, like 5-6 things in a week, right? That you have to do. And if you don't do those things, then they'll lock you up. But yet then they charge you for all of those things.
Ooh.
If you don't pay to do all of those things, they lock you up.
Justin-
So think about it. How can you have a job, do all those things every day that they want you to do, plus have a curfew and be in at a certain, all those little hoops? Otherwise they'll lock, I mean, it's impossible.
Do what or take jail time? I'm referring to like probation. Probation, if you're an addict, is about the worst thing you could ever do, because it's just riddled with drug tests. You fail those, you miss them, you wind up getting 3 months jail time for getting a revoked probation, and it literally will get you. You'll be doing the jail time of an armed robber for being an addict by the time you're done with it.
Yep.
It's not worth it. So who wouldn't take a week in jail over 2 years of that? But Justin EDC said something somewhere that I wanted to read. Oh, I'm 2 years out of the system and I've almost got all my fines paid off. That is awesome.
Good for you, man.
We just recently finally did that as well, and it feels great.
I'm completely broken ties with the system. No, I have no more probation, no more nothing. I paid everything, and it feels very good. And now I can live an honorable life and not have to deal with them. And if I do run into them, I don't have to worry about, getting beat up because they can.
Someone said.
I mean, I guess I still can.
Someone
but you know
said,
what I mean.
or you could have broken out. Kara would have baked you in a cake with a Swiss Army knife inside.
But
Yeah,
it feels a lot. It feels way better being out of the system and doing things legit and not, worrying about that. I grew up in a family that was just the way you were raised. I was raised in a family where it was normal. That's what you were gonna do. It's what you were gonna be. My dad was what you would call, pretty much a gangster, and just a family that's how it goes.
You spent your first 6 years of your adult life in the system. You don't mean in prison, do you?
No, he means probably on probation.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I first
6 years. I couldn't do that. I would be absolutely scheming
I'd
my
be
way out.
ripped. No, I'm just no, if it was in prison, yeah. But yeah, fucking I spent altogether 4 years on probation. 4 or 5 years, one of the two.
Yeah.
In and out of jail and probation. See, yeah, there you go. That's what I did too. We've both been in and out and then on probation. So
The worst thing I've done is carry a Kalashnikov.
that's good. Keep
you
it that way.
still have time, stud fishing, to not go down the wrong path.
Don't get in
I was
trouble.
already well on my path at his age.
That's
so.
the thing that they don't tell you, especially like even for like the petty stuff. Like when I was a kid, when I was your age.
Oh, you think
and
you're so cool doing shit that you shouldn't be doing.
Right, you do, and like you think it's petty, right? I got busted when I was a kid. I'm talking like 13 years old. I got busted for some petty crime. So then that put me on probation for 6 months. Well, within a month, I got busted doing another petty crime, which gave me 2 years probation. And then I got busted again for some petty crime, which put me on intense probation.
And it just gets you in
and
there.
it just one thing after
and those
another.
little mistakes that most people make wind up being under a microscope and wow, 10 years clean and sober this October for Mr.
Good for you. Good for you.
That is amazing.
That is very awesome.
I thought I was doing good. 10 years.
10 years is
a
really
lot.
good, yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going on 4 years.
Kareem, okay, he said he was from somewhere else. Awake at 3:30 a.m. Wow.
So
That is,
You're getting better. Well.
Oh, you too, Lindy. It'll be a year for you this August. That
good for
is
you. Good for you.
Amazing. I don't know how this just turned into like an NA meeting, but you guys, that's awesome. Seriously.
Yeah, no, that is. And it's a huge, you know what? I honestly think the first month is the most hardest goal to conquer.
Oh my God, I mean? It feels
that
like
first
7
month
years.
is everything. Once you get past that first month, it goes so much easier. But that first month, man, it's a fucking war. So I congratulate anybody that can do that. And, I just advocate that you don't slip up. But I know deep down I don't have to worry about that. I fucking already lived that life. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't care about drinking and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to other shit.
Whoa.
Benny Blake, thank you.
Yeah, it's super liberating, Lindy. That's the whole thing, is the freedom of it.
Yeah, the freedom, right.
The not, waking up every day with your body falling apart and just, it's...
Yeah. It is definitely a hard
Man,
battle.
it's kind of crazy how many people here
understand.
It's weird. And that's kind of why sometimes I like doing these lives where we're just hanging out and talking to you guys, because we really do appreciate every single one of you that comes and supports us in any way, whether it's loaning us knives, just viewing the videos, anything that you guys are doing, and I genuinely have interest in you guys as people.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just as numbers on our subscriptions.
No,
so
we
it's
decided,
really cool to get to know the similarities between us.
Before we started this, we actually talked about this, because we talked about whether or not we could be honest, because for us to be honest would mean
I honestly thought people would think never send us up, because I thought they would think we would pawn it.
Right, something like that. Something crazy.
I really did.
But
Mr. McKenzie with the
thank you.
Thank
you. But but the way we've looked at it was you know what? Anybody can, everything's public record. But besides that, the only way we could go into this and do this with everybody, with the followers, with just everything, was to be honest and just be ourselves and and just, whatever. If somebody wants to know something, we'll tell them. It don't matter. And I have nothing to hide. I don't give a shit. And I've already been down that path, so it's definitely behind us.
Well, I figure I don't really
back.
need people in my life who would judge me on something that's that far in the past, strong anyway.
Sure.
So it's if somebody was gonna be that way, then it's probably just better that
everybody's got a past.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a past, and ours just, ours are even different, me and her, but similar in a lot of ways. But
what are you?
sometimes you just grow
Alpha
up in
boss,
shitty situations.
we knew you were joking. We were just joking back. We were into everything. Anything your head could take you to. Seriously.
If you can imagine it. But yeah, we definitely overcame a lot of things that just growing up in the lifestyle with certain types of people. I grew up around a lot of hardworking men that taught me how to work and do construction, and that was my whole life from the time I was 8 years old. But that was how I had to eat, like, because just being poor and everything. So if I wanted to eat, I had to work, and so if I wasn't at school, I was working. I had to drop out of school to work, like, and so. But then also in the same breath, I was around a lot of criminals, and that's just that was what was cool.
See you later, classified agent.
In two breaths, I was around gangsters and thugs and just criminals, and then also hardworking people to teach me how to do right. So,
no, you guys
which
are
I'm
awesome.
thankful for.
Your guys' support means a lot. I'm reading the comments right now, and yeah, you guys are great, and it really is an awesome thing, because I'm telling you, if this channel had, if we had tried to start this, as recent as 3.5 years ago, it wouldn't be here. We couldn't even be doing this. You know what I mean? We weren't even barely people anymore.
It's definitely helped. I know for me, it's definitely helped me a lot, because I don't want to say it like that, because no matter what, I'd still be here, but it gives me something to love and appreciate, and good people.
If you really think about it, we went a decade or more with no hobbies, nothing to enjoy.
Well, I have
your
hobbies.
whole. I'm saying no, but your whole day is centered around
gangster
your problems and stuff. You're always fixing problems. That's all you do. You know what I mean? And it's stressful.
Yeah,
and
problems.
You would have never had a dang old knife channel.
Thank you. The factor.
A sticker! Yay! I love those. It doesn't say FRN.
Oh no! I thought it said R. I'm blind.
Fan. Oh
thank
my gosh.
Thank you.
Can you make custom things for that?
I think it's just preset.
I know YouTube has those ones, but I really wish I had
everyone has
custom
their battles.
ones.
Yeah, everybody has their battles, and nobody, nobody's better than anybody else. Everybody has their own battles, and that's what I mean. Everybody's got their own background, and some people's battles might be worse in like a perspective than others, but it's really not, because it's just on what you can handle, what you could take, and what you've been through. So nobody's battles are harder than anybody else. It's just some,
the battle thing reminds me of something.
What's that?
What
do you mean the battle thing?
Just the word battle.
Okay.
If you know how like during Civil War and like very old wars, they a lot of times, and maybe this is in my head, I don't know if it was actually this way, but is it true that they kind of would really just line up and go at it?
Well,
like
it depends on what year. Depends on what year.
Like Civil War, for instance.
Yeah, no. Then they walk up. They would be in a line so far apart, and then when the time came,
charge like that.
But they would actually have an agreement on when to do it. It was honorable for sure.
I was thinking about that. I honestly, and I feel like I'm a pretty honorable person. I don't know if I could do that. That's crazy. When you really think about it, you in a line of guns and them in a line of guns with bayonets, and you're just gonna.
Yeah.
What does that even do?
Well, think about medieval times. Medieval times,
crazy.
You got axes and swords. Bim, 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 bim. Thanks, Steve.
That's funny.
There you go. That's something to be addicted to.
I read it with the space though. I'm like, what's Viagnia?
Good luck on the vagina. He's got a case of vaginas. Yes, old warfare is definitely nuts. And man,
yeah, like I was just thinking about it.
Whoa, Lindy Lou! Oh my God, thank you.
People are crazy.
Oh my God,
right now.
You guys are going nuts over here.
Sorry, I gotta do it every time. Those are Napoleonic. Oh my God, I have Napoleon syndrome. I know all about it. Dude. They had to do that because before they rifled the bullet, they were so inaccurate that they lined up to send walls of lead down line. His death rate was actually not that that big.
What he's talking about is the old guns. They were just a tube. They didn't have a rifled barrel.
So it just spread like
no.
wide, or?
What it was just a barrel. So when they shot, it would veer off. Like it wouldn't go straight. Because a rifled barrel has spirals in it. So when it shoots, the bullet spirals when it comes out and goes straight. So they weren't accurate. But one thing though is if you did get hit, I mean, even though it wasn't as devastating of a shot, infection, so many things. Who knows? You know, like they probably made that damn.
And I also heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I also heard that they would have like days. I don't know if it was Sundays per se, but it was like one day a week that like the war was like ceased. Like for their day off.
Yeah.
That was like a thing where there was like a no, like war's canceled today.
Yeah.
Or like bad weather, war's canceled.
I even
today.
heard of them actually getting together and like eating or something for like a day or just hang out, like shit like that.
What's up, Chris Wolf? Oh! Sorry, I had to do it.
Neevesknives, rifle barrels were first used in the Revolutionary War. Yep.
We watched his video today of some guy asking like a bunch of like teachers
so
and just like various like youth about like our like American history. I'm not gonna say our because there's people from other parts of the world, but about USA history. But they were asking like, what year did we gain our independence? And this one lady was literally a freaking history teacher, and she's like, 17 something, right?
But what's more pathetic is I watched a few of these, and they were literally asking, say, students. So people that should know this, right? They should have just been taught this. Teachers and a lot of people, and I couldn't help but just get a sore heart at the fact that nobody actually knows our history, but yet they want to talk about things that's going on now when they can't even speak of what's already happened in history. And it's like when you forget that shit, you tend to repeat it.
What's up, Abby
These people
Normal?
are fucking morons. They don't even know our own country's history, yet they want to speak on things that's happened in history. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It pisses me off. Sorry. Yes, 1776.
Yeah, they do teach the new history these days, and not to get into political stuff, but not to get into political territory here. But the same teacher I was just talking about, she's talking about how she doesn't even teach the curriculum. She goes off the curriculum and teaches about all the current stuff you guys see in the news right now, and teaches that stuff. And I'm just like, regardless of what the stuff is you are teaching. We're in Illinois near Chicago. If you're not in like a really like shitty area, they're serious about teachers sticking on the curriculum. I remember having teachers say,
but that's not.
Listen. I'm just saying the school board, if they're actually checking in on the schools, the curriculum is something they're supposed to follow, whether they like it or not. And this lady is just like, oh, I don't even do that. I teach them about everything.
This is the most people we've ever had in our life. Thank you guys so much.
Whoa, 50. What?
And yeah, thank you, Benny. And you know, it's crazy that they're teaching this shit. God. And I'll be damned if my fucking kid. And I'm sorry to sit here and throw the F-bombs around. But you guys know how I get. But damned if my kid's going to go to a school and learn that shit.
You have a kid?
No, if I
You
did
did not tell me that.
When I do.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I do. Because if you're going to teach it right. Teach the real history.
That's kind of hilarious. In the Civil War, both sides would taunt each other, and I'd yell back and forth over the campfires.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But not
not really funny.
But not fighting that moment.
Right.
We'd just taunt each other.
Yeah. Fuck you, I'm gonna get you when the sun comes up, asshole.
Yeah. You see about that tomorrow, Redcoat. Online school's even worse. You don't learn anything. Yeah, that whole teach to test thing, which by the way seems logical. Didn't know you used to be a teacher. Interesting fact about you. Cool.
Awesome to have you here, Robert. And yes, it is very sad because they're teaching something. It's crazy what they're trying to teach right now because they're provoking and promoting something that they don't even realize what they're provoking and promoting. They're about to start shit. It's going to create so much bullshit, but racist stuff and just so many different things that they don't even understand what they're creating because they don't even understand what's already happened in history.
Do you know how many stripes are on the flag?
13?
Yeah.
13 colonies?
Yeah. That's what they said, and what do they represent? Most people don't know that.
I know.
Do you know why I know that?
Why?
Because I used to make these little flag pins, and I would count out the rows to make sure that it was accurate. But yeah, it's...
Most people don't know a lot of shit.
Yeah, no, like when I went to school, and I went to school in a school system that would not be considered bad, okay? It would be considered an average to good school system. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't learn diddly squat. Like, I'm telling you, everything I did, here's the packet, do a packet, here's a packet, fill this packet out. Packets don't do shit. I'm telling you right now, like... Everything I learned has been on my own because I've been interested in it.
Right. And, you should be interested in stuff like that, especially about your own history, because, like I said, you tend to repeat it if you don't know. I definitely went to a bad school, but they still taught us the things that happen in history, and not the way that the media, I guess, makes it seem like they taught us. They didn't teach us, like, all this racist shit and make it seem like that we literally learn about how the blacks and whites, I guess just gonna go deep, like all the things that happened through the centuries and how everything happened and how it played out.
Bad or good, it is what it is.
Bad or good, right? Bad or good.
We should learn.
And I went to school with more black people than white. And we got along. It was a friend thing, you know. If you're gonna be my friend, then I'll be your friend type shit. And I mean, it's pathetic to me what they're trying to make right now happen, because they don't want it. They think they want this to happen, but they don't want this to happen. It's gonna backfire on everybody who gets involved in that way, and everybody who bows down and kneels down to this shit. Getting kids interested in history or math, biology.
Yeah, I think these days with all the technology, it's probably harder than it was back then.
For sure.
Like, I remember lots of kids when I was in school, like, especially boys, would, like, there was a couple, like, a good handful of kids that were actually really interested in history. The thing is allowing it in the social culture of the kids, for kids to let other kids like that stuff and not get made fun of for it. That's some of the issue too. Like the whole like it's not cool to do homework. It's not like that stuff really happens. Like I remember a lot of little kids were interested in history and stuff like that. And then as soon as you know you hit a certain age, you know you're thinking about your friends and this other stuff, and none of that stuff matters anymore. And that's just like the social culture in the United States, at least. And it's
I feel
ridiculous.
Bad.
Thank you. I noticed it. And your sticker. Yes, everyone's doing stickers now.
Thank you. I have a mixed race family, and like I feel bad. I have actually two black nephews.
Everyone's talking about
and
UFC.
I feel bad for them, for like to them to think like anything that being said right now, like white privilege and shit like that. I feel bad for them to think that they're held back by the white man when they're absolutely not. It drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think that
But maybe sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think that I think it's just hard to learn in things you're not interested in, and I think that some of the curriculum choices they make in schools, like Stud Fishing said, kind of kill the love for things. They overdo it. So if I'm someone who likes reading, and then you pile on 13 super boring books on me, instead of playing off my interests, like school needs to be more tailored to the individual, because the thing is, it's very hard to learn in something you don't care about. So you got to do things in a way that makes the youth or the age you're teaching care.
Yes.
No one,
for sure.
Like,
for sure.
Okay, fine. Play off the technology thing. So if all these kids are into video games or whatever, and they're really interested in that stuff, and you're doing a math class, and I know this would be hard to do for every kid, so don't get me wrong, but it's an idea. Why not pursue that stuff early on to teach a kid then how to be someone who designs the topography for a video game map? Do you know how much math that involves? How hard it is? And using that to teach different skills could be a way to teach kids almost through like, not vocational skills, but through skills. I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
I seen that video, Joe, and I pray that that doesn't happen, because it kills me that so many things, whether they were good or bad, they're still a part of our history, right? I don't give a shit what the story is. They're still a part of our history. You can't lie about what happened in history. So, but like these monuments being torn down, and it's like, I'll never get to see them. I never did get to see them, and I never will. And it breaks my heart.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Seems logical. It's right.
That
Even when I'm training people at work, It literally, yeah, we used SimCity in school actually too, and we used computers. They did a flight simulator on it. There's a lot of ways that technology can be really helpful and portrayed to different kids. So even if you just gave each kid a simple test to learn if they're a kinetic learner, a visual learner, all these different things, and then you really tailored, at least broke it down into 5 individual learning groups and tailored different curriculums for like 5 different groups. Yeah, it still isn't going to be perfect for every kid, but it'd be a lot closer. A lot closer. I used to want to be a teacher. Don't think they let me into school now. Maybe now. Maybe.
Yeah,
But
maybe. They definitely wouldn't let me.
I do like what I do now, despite how much I work. I do like what I do.
But yeah, I think
I'm a teacher of coffee, okay?
I think a lot of it's gonna have to do with what we do about it and the way we react and the way we allow things to play out and happen without saying something or without being just honest. Like I don't think. I don't know. I think some of the shit that I've seen lately on the news and stuff, I think it's, oh my God, it sickens me to think that people actually do that.
We only have
15 more minutes. 15 more
Why are we
minutes.
stopping in 15 minutes again?
Let's get on another subject.
Everyone says they're going to watch the UFC. What UFC fight is happening tonight that you haven't been talking about?
I don't know what UFC fight's happening tonight.
I've seen 2 people that said they were leaving to go watch the UFC.
If it's like a pay-per-view thing or anything like that, I usually just wait till it comes online. So I wouldn't know until it comes online what the results are gonna be.
Right.
But I have been watching a couple of replaying back couple fights. They're on that Fight Island thing right now. So
if you could.
If I could.
For and you knew you saved up money enough to survive for a year with no job, and you had a really good lead on some treasure, would you actually spend a whole year hunting down that treasure?
And I had a good lead. Yeah, Fight Island tonight. That's what I just said. Yeah, Fight Island. Usman versus Masvidal. Okay, who do you guys got? I got Masvidal. I think Masvidal is going to smash
I don't
Usman.
think they can hear us here. Hold on. Can you guys hear us? Are we back? Because we disconnected for a second.
Okay, so I'm saying that
And it's back.
Masvidal is going to smash Usman, no doubt in my mind. I think Usman's a great fighter. I think he did really good against what the hell's that one guy's name? I can't think of his name now. That white guy, that's a cocky guy. But Usman, yeah, he's a great fighter. But Masvidal's gonna smash him. That's my opinion.
Are gravity knives legal near us?
The referee will win.
Are gravity knives legal? Yeah.
Here?
No? Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. They're legal near us, and the most we've ever spent on a knife out of pocket is probably $300. Probably not even, to be honest with you. It's really hard for us to get one chunk of money at a time like that.
The Groot is right here. The professional versus the skipper on Gillian's. The professor versus. Okay, I think the skipper would kick the professor.
Yeah,
you know what though? The
professor's kind of jacked,
and
though.
he's smart.
He is.
So he probably understands timing and everything.
The skipper.
Yeah, professor.
I think
But the skipper's actually probably gotten into a fight. Bam, 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 bam. LD66. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm giving myself a headache from doing that.
But you know what though? The skipper's probably actually been in a fight before, and the professor's
gonna build a weapon. That's what Q1
I'm down
said.
barehanded.
Okay, but even with
barehanded,
the smarts, the skipper I always kind of thought of as a little bit just.
Well, he's been in a fight before
ditzy.
Though, and he smashes around Gil again.
The skipper too.
But the professor's definitely wiser and will understand, I think, timing a little bit more. So I think the professor would win.
New York City is now arresting people for spring-assisted knives?
Really? I thought they stopped that. I literally thought I just heard that they stopped doing stuff like that. Wow. Is it because of everything? Because, we went up, 300% in murders in Chicago. I mean, a crazy percentage. And I know New York did too. So I wonder if it has anything to do with that.
I want to know who would win in
That's true, Alpha Boss.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably accurate.
Oh, and Brewhound said the same thing. All he's got to do is just keep backing up for about 45 seconds, wear them out.
I miss shows like that.
That's why, a lot of great fighters, the first round, they don't, like they box around, but they don't put anything into it till like the third round. In the third round, they actually start fighting because
Spring assisted knives count as automatic knives because it's vague. That is.
it doesn't even make no sense because this isn't
Probably
spring
because
assisted,
no,
and I can
what
fire
he's
just
saying
as
is
fast.
It's probably because the law is written in a way where it's like a knife using a spring mechanism to open the
Right.
blade, and that's gonna fall into it. Even though that's, I mean,
Who
I
cares
guess,
though? You know what? Who cares? Just don't get assisted knives and don't buy cheap assisted knives and
But the thing,
learn how to
the
fucking
reason
use a
people care
D10.
is because they're getting arrested for it.
I understand that's pathetic. I think that's pathetic, but I think you can.
I think I
get
can
her-
open my manual knife just
Right.
as fast. So what? That's why we need more people,
Access locks are
advocating for
legal,
this stuff.
but a Kershaw leak is now. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Well, hold on a second. Wait, though. An access lock can be considered a spring, wouldn't it? Because it has omega springs. I don't know. I don't
Don't
live
say
there.
that out loud.
Yeah. Oh,
If
well,
anyone from New York just heard that.
right. We got the cop is going to turn shin. 35 people. I bet 0 people got stabbed by spring assisted knives in New York City.
Well,
right.
that's
Or Chicago.
I know I told some of you guys heard this story before, but I was on jury duty almost on jury duty for a guy who stabbed someone with a spring assisted pocket knife. And I didn't get picked for the final thing though. I got questioned.
Dude got killed though, right? Or no?
I
think he
two
said
people got killed, or one person got killed and 3 were injured. But yeah, I didn't get to be on the jury though because of all my knife affiliations and such. But
maybe
yeah.
on the next live.
Not trying to say they should be illegal because I don't think so.
Thank you, Stacy.
With
Thank
the
you.
unicorn.
Maybe since we only have 10 minutes left on the dangerous knife situations I've been into or been in from knife attacks, and one was one was definitely a regular pocket knife, and it was probably a cheap piece of
Why
shit.
does it seem like the coastal cities
The other one was a kitchen
are the
knife.
ones with the harshest laws? Like you got California, you got New York, everything along the coast that tends to fall as a left-wing state tends to have the harshest laws when it comes to knives, I hear. And it's crazy. Like, even if and same thing with Chicago, if we were in city limits. How to get out of jury duty, collect knives. It was hilarious. One of the questions they were asking every single person to get on the panel was, do you think that it is inherently wrong to carry a knife? And then that was what the prosecutors were asking, and the defense was asking, do you have a problem with someone who carries a knife or something like that? And it sickened me when I tell you guys, 95% of the people in that room with me said that they don't carry a knife regularly, and a lot of them said that they had a problem with somebody carrying a knife. And then some people would specify and say things like, well, maybe if it's one of those little Swiss Army knives, or if they're using it for, like, if they're going to the job site with it, and just, like, stupid stuff.
They don't have any knowledge on knives.
Me and one other lady was the only 2 that said and she was like, I regularly carry a knife every day. She said, where I live, I need it, blah, blah. And it was insane to me. These women that were there, men too, but there was these particular women that were there that I just wanted to punch. They were being... I think some of them were saying it to get out of jury duty too, but they were just being like looking at the defendant and looking him dead in the eye and being like, no, I think it's awful. What do you need that for? What are you planning on doing? Like, it just...
As if it's not a tool.
The misconstrued nature of the way people view a pocket knife is sick. It's sick.
Steve just said that the Demco new shark lock is considered a gravity lock. I don't understand how that can be a gravity lock, but an access lock isn't. They literally are kind of functioning the same way. I know it's the thing where you pull back right there, but it would be free dropping, just like an access lock. I don't understand how you can take one and not take... not like I want them to take the access lock out. But I don't grasp the way their brain functions. But it's like we were just saying, they don't understand knives, how they work, why people carry them, or the people that do carry them. Because most people... it's usually a kitchen knife, not a pocket knife. I'm not saying things don't happen with pocket knives, but that same person would just use a hammer or something, anything. It wouldn't matter to them. I think more people die of hammers.
If you can swing it open, it's a gravity knife.
Yeah, I bet the laws are probably very, very ridiculous. That would be the one hard part for me if I went to California.
I
Is
don't want to
dealing
live
with the
in
knife laws.
California.
I didn't say I want to live. I'm saying visiting. Like that would be the
Oh,
hard thing.
yeah.
Would be
That's why I
dealing
like
with that.
Colorado. I was walking around there with. I mean, Colorado's pretty liberal as well,
But
but
you're allowed to have anything
but
you want.
because of the hunting and stuff like that,
What
it's
are you smoking? Nicotine.
nicotine. I always have to
Nicotine.
answer this. Everyone always thinks it's a weed. It's not weed. It's just nicotine. I have a headache right now, so I'm kind of. I don't know.
6 more minutes. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. What is that from? We always say that. Is that Eminem
Yeah,
song?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Did a video on silliness of knife blade length laws. Yeah, it is redonkulous. Weeds so much better. I'm sure. I haven't smoked. I haven't smoked in a while. Pretty good while.
Anti-switch. Yeah, most anti-switchblade laws are from the 50s, probably because of gangs and people got scared. And it's the same thing as like most things that are legal. That it's just fear-mongering propaganda from the media.
Yeah.
Even when you go
For
back
sure.
to the history of a lot of things, even
Yes.
like weed, for instance, the way weed became illegal
It
was
will
because
kill you.
no, the real
I remember
story
a
is that
commercial like
because
that.
the media started saying that basically these gangsters from Mexico were bringing this stuff into the U.S. and that they were criminals, raping women, doing all these things. And even the name marijuana, that was something that the media came up with to sound more quote-unquote Mexican to scare Americans.
Tilt your head.
Why?
Dougie. Dougie.
Oh, little Dougie bug.
But yeah, I remember when I was younger, a commercial, and I remember it actually being played, and it was talking about how weed will kill you and stuff like that.
This is your brain. This is
This is your
on
brand
drugs.
drugs. Yeah, the egg
Yeah.
in the frying pan. That's hilarious.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna give y'all like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 more
couple
minutes.
No, I was gonna say I'm
4
gonna
more
give him a
minutes.
couple minutes to get over to
It was a West Side
Mr.
Story.
Mr. Big Times live. We only got a couple minutes.
Whoa,
Dang it!
Jason, God. Thank
Yes,
you.
I am back from the carnival. I was sharing some of my carnival tales earlier. But the carny life just isn't for me. So, you know.
Next week it'll be something else.
Yeah.
What's the scariest knife you own?
Oh, that we don't own it, but that one today gave me that vibe. Where is it? The Strider.
Right there.
Yeah, this knife has that scary vibe to me, and it's not scary, but you know, like I feel like this blade grind is just so like, and it's called the Nightmare grind, right?
Yeah, nightmare.
I just feel like it has that like aggressive kind
As you're
of.
smashing Dougie, look what
He's-
you're doing.
He's fine. He's a good boy.
He's sleeping. I think the most scariest one we own is probably the buck marksman, and it's just because if you do not know how to operate it, it can hurt you. And the first week we had it, I think it cut me 3 times, once very deep.
Which one are you talking about?
The buck marksman. I mean, it cut me good, like really
But to
good.
a non-knife person.
That's what I'm talking about. To like a non-knife person. It's
I
probably
think
pretty
that
scary.
one, or like maybe the Kubi Anteater has that sort of look, although it's pink, so that helps a little bit.
I mean, to me, none of them are scary, but I could see how people thinking they're scary. I had somebody, I pulled up the car at work, and one of the guys at work, they were like, "What are you doing carrying around a sword?"
Kara, what is your current grill? My current grill, ooh.
I think I know what it is. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
what do you think it is?
I think it's the Olamic busker.
No, it's not. I
It's
got
not?
out of that
It used
phase.
to be.
I'm not in the Olamic phase anymore, guys. I've left. That train has left the building.
Not for me though. I really.
It's
want-
not left the building like that.
Yeah, you just said it left the
Not
building.
like that. My current grail is actually this one particular Leon Ma, the Zulu. Is that how you say it?
Probably.
And it's like a green micarta one, and I really like it. But it's yeah. I don't know.
Warney or sheep's foot.
The
Sheep's
ooh,
foot for me.
if
If it's
Warning.
done right. If it's done right.
I'm in a Warncliffe phase right now, actually, which is weird.
I like them both. I
didn't
like
used
them
to be
both.
a huge
But for
Warncliffe
some
fan.
reason, I like that little bit of belly. This isn't that little bit of belly that a sheep's foot gives you.
I
that a
really
Warhol
don't have
doesn't.
like a particular grail I'm latched onto. I kind of need to get out there and look through some new things. But right now, a Liangma, or anything resembling a Kaiser Yorkie that would actually be custom made by Ray Laconico, like one of his actual Ray Laconico knives, kind of like Yorkie shaped. I would love that. That would be like a super grail.
Lindy Lou. Okay, that was Lindy. G.
Good night.
Good
Yeah,
night.
speaking of good night, it's 9 o'clock, you guys. We gotta go. We gotta show some respect to Mr. MC. We're gonna let you guys.
We love you guys. Thank you guys for all the donations, and thank you for supporting us. This was probably our best live yet, at least in people showing up. Next week we are definitely gonna try to do this again, and we will try to have a topic. So don't miss it. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh no. Here we go. Just turn it off.
I know, but I got.
Don't do weird things. Just
I think I got it.
No, you didn't.